You know, if you watch reviews of this car on YouTube, you'll notice some people like to say, oh, it's good, but as a hot hatch, it's still not quite there, or it misses the mark a little bit. But they never seem to explain why exactly. And some of them don't seem to be driving it all that hard either. You know what I think? I think it's fashionable to say, oh well, because it's electric, it's not quite there. And you know what? I think a few of these people are possibly being a bit precious. But what would I know? I mean, I thought the 2.2 tonne Porsche Taycan Turbo was really good in the twisty stuff. I even thought the Tesla Model 3 Performance was really fun, and I'd happily own one of those as well. But I also loved the petrol Hyundai i20N, which I really enjoyed in the pouring rain on a twisty road. Now there's a lot to like about the MG4 in the bang for your buck stakes, but there's a lot I didn't like as well about the car, particularly the cabin electronics, the sat-nav, the voice command. You can see all that in the detailed review that Mark and I did previously. We're not going to cover that ground today. Today is all about hot hatchiness. Is it or is it not? But don't trust me. Maybe I am just some kind of electric zealot. Today I'm going to take it to a proper rally driver who definitely does know what a hot hatch feels like because he's got one.
Hey, proof's in the pudding.
It's how they drive.
It's how they drive, absolutely. Let's go see.
Now, two people went with me in this car yesterday and they both said the same thing. One of them said it made her feel really sick and she wanted to get out. Felt like a roller coaster. And the other person, he also said it's like a roller coaster and said it was straight out of the Jetsons. If you've seen the Jetsons, this is what they look like if you don't know what we're talking about. So if you don't like roller coasters, buy another car. Oh, we're only doing 40 k's an hour and the speed limit's 80. Well, let's get back to 80. 80. This is a car that closes any gap. If you want to go, oh, I want to get close to that, see what's going on, you will be there in an instant. There is no gap. How's the turning circle? Look at that. And boom! God. You have to have good line of sight. You cannot blat this thing round corners where you can't see, but boom! But don't take my word for it. What we need is a good racing driver to actually drive it properly on some twisty bends. How good's that turning circle? And I know just the guy, and it's Mark Williamson. And right now, he's in Catalonia in Spain, testing Formula 4 cars. So, no, he's not available. But I have a good alternative. The guy who's just won the Australian Tarmac Rally Championship in his category, Andrew Bollum. What's more, he owns an i20N, so that is a hot hatch. I don't think he's ever been in an EV, unless it's been a Prius Uber or something like that. So it'll be really fun to see what he thinks of this car, because I think this car is pretty astonishing, and I definitely think it qualifies as a hot hatch. There are only 4 things, I think, that you could argue tarnish its reputation as a great hot hatch. I'll tell you what they are now, and I'll see if Andrew agrees, see if he spots them. Firstly is the seat. This thing does not have enough lateral support. It needs to be, a proper huggy Recaro or something like that. The second thing is steering feel. It does what you ask it. It points, it's zippy, but you're not getting the road feel coming back. It's just a little bit sanitized. And the third thing, the sensation, changing gears, matching revs, all the fun stuff you like to do in cars, in manual cars. Can't do anything about that. Unavoidable. And the fourth thing is, of course, the sound. Cruise control's on and set to the speed limit with the lane keep assist, hands off the wheel, looking ahead, waiting for it, trying to make the bend, and just nearly made a dart for the trees. Maybe for the freeway, definitely not for these rolling roads. That was actually quite creepy. Here we go, here's a bend. It's following the middle line, and we're over the centre line, and it darts for the fence. No. So that can go off, thank you very much. I'm going to drive for a little while. Of all the driving this morning, that got my heart rate up more than anything, so no.
Good morning. First impressions?
Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it?
It's kind of stealth fighter.
It is, definitely. Considering I didn't even hear you come in.
In the vibrant orange, it was a bit shouty for me.
No, this one's under the radar.
Yeah. And it is. That's a very apt analogy.
Yes.
It's a stealth fighter.
Yeah.
Well, the rotors are 345mm. They're massive, front and rear.
But look at the calipers.
Yeah. No, now have a closer look.
Ah, okay. Oh, okay.
Now poke at them.
Nothing like a little bit of advertising and yes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Everyone will go, oh, that's the car with the fake caliper covers on.
Listen, if the brakes are up to it and it works, they can do whatever they like with that.
How many electric cars have you been in?
I've only been in a few, probably 2 or 3.
Fast ones? Have you been
No.
in? They're
No.
just like Uber's transport.
Yes, yes, exactly. So
So-
I'm looking forward to this to being a bit of an eye-opener. I like it how they've gone for a more rounded look. They haven't gone for the creases that a lot of other cars are doing.
It's funny you should say that, because with the bright colours, I commented on how sharp the creases and angles were.
Really?
But with this Camden Grey, it does mask
It
that
rounds
pretty
it.
well. Okay, that's interesting. Clear left. You're in excellent position to review this car because you've had your i20N for a little while now, and it continues to impress you.
It does, absolutely. It's a great little car. In comparison, already just in this short time, this is it's a lot softer, which sort of surprised me.
Well, this one's 25% stiffer than all the other models. They've stiffened the anti-roll bars, the dampers and the springs in this, so this is their version of hot.
Right.
The i20N is, of course, $40,000, and this is $60,000.
Yes.
It has twice the horsepower of your puny little i20N.
Puny?
I scoff in your general direction.
Puny.
You've only got 150 kilowatts.
Ah, yes, yes,
We've
yes. I think I've got about 550, maybe 600 kilometre range. What was this one, sorry?
Well, the way you're driving it, a lot less than the claimed 400 kilometre range.
Right, right, so there's a difference.
I did start with a pretty decent battery. It's at, no it's not, it's only 66%.
Yep.
All
And
right.
who was driving just before me?
Yes, I was.
Right, right, okay.
That's okay. Should get through the day. It's a pretty good range. We're on Bridgestone Turanzas on 235 45 18s, so they're reasonably good sticky tyres.
And you've checked pressures and...
It's on the dash.
It's on the dash?
Yes. Oh man, this is just like being back in the rally car.
It is. There's something wrong with the intercom though, because it's not.
Yeah,
I'm not hearing it properly.
Well, you can hear me, and we don't need the intercom.
Wow.
This will be a test of the brakes too.
It's a funny feel to the pedal. It's not as good a feel as what I was expecting.
Ah, a little bit dead.
Yeah.
Bit wooden.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
It's not up to the job.
if this is their hot hatch and it's supposed to be a hot hatch, then I think the 3 things already that I've spoken about being, to me, it's too soft. The brakes, and then the width of the seats. I would have thought the seats would be more of a Recaro-esque type style seat.
Yep. Absolutely. No complaints about the power delivery?
No, the power actually maybe makes up for all those others.
Grip level so far, pretty good, wasn't it? On those.
It was, yes. And there's obviously a little bit more to come because the tyres weren't complaining.
Should we go on a ferry? Can you take me on a ferry, Dad?
Is there a button that we have to push or?
No.
G'day.
Hello.
Industrial action for better pay for 12 hours for the ferry operators.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Thank you very
Thank you.
See ya.
Wire-drawn ferry operators are the worst paid ferry workers in the country.
Yeah.
There's plenty of ground clearance, by the way.
Is there?
There's virtually no overhang on this thing.
Oh,
the wheels
okay.
are at the corners.
Right, perfect.
They're refusing to pay us fairly. Okay, well, if you agree with that, scan that QR code and get active.
Get active.
You want to
Yep.
show me what happens when you're planted? Your
Yep.
first time putting your foot down.
It's exciting.
3, 2, 1, go.
Wow. Wow.
You can back off now.
Oh, sorry. I
was
was waiting for the call. Okay, so that's an eye opener.
Roller coaster is the right word, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. The initial 100 metres
Yep.
really pushes you back in the seat, and then the seat catches up.
I'm going to turn off the lane keeping assist because you'll find it'll be tugging away at you. which we don't want.
Do you have to turn that off each time?
Every time. You can't store it in your profile. Every time you get in the car, you got to do that.
Interesting.
So yes.
The N, when you the i20, when you put it in N mode, it automatically turns it off.
Yeah. Hey, it was 66% when we got off the ferry, and now 2 minutes later we're at 63%. If people want to know about this car, there's the entry level 51 kilowatt, and then there's 264 kilowatts, then there's a long range one with 77 kilowatt hour battery. This one's only got the medium sized battery because they wanted to keep the weight reasonable. It's still 1800 kilos. In fact, some say 1808, some say 1878, so it's somewhere in that 1850 range, which is quite heavy, isn't it?
Quite heavy, quite heavy.
Now, admittedly, Porsche Taycan, is 2.2 tonnes, and it goes even harder than this.
Yes. What's the claim?
3.8.
Yeah, because I thought that was about 3.79.
There we go. Wow, how pretty is that, everyone? Look at the nice view.
Oh.
Look how nice that is. Can you see? It's all right, you can keep driving. There we go. That's the world we're living in. Perfect day. Hot hatch, or maybe a hot hatch.
Well, I think the suspension for these sort of roads, you're exactly right. This is definitely nicer than the i20, but if you were driving it harder, it might be a different story.
Well, in what way?
Just in the initial, because I think it's a bit soft, and there was a bit of roll coming down those previous corners. I think it would be a bit of a car to hang on to in comparison. But it's taller.
There's no need to make excuses for it. It's 50% more expensive than the i20, and it should be its equal in every way.
Yeah.
Or is the i20 more involving? I mean, it's not a fair comparison.
It's not.
We should be comparing to the i30N at least, which, as we know, has a really smart adaptive differential, really clever e-diff in that car. But this one has torque vectoring. We've got all-wheel drive, and it's applying the power to exactly the wheel it needs. And if you do get loose, it knows exactly what to do. It's probably not stiff enough for the track.
Well, I don't think it's also, it's not like the Hyundais where they all have track mode and so forth, so they're obviously targeted at that. Oh, hang on, prove me wrong. It just so happens, here's the screen I've just downloaded.
Track mode.
Okay, so I now take all that back.
That's okay, you didn't know. Track mode, disclaimer.
Okay. And stage mode.
Yes, stage, which is for road stages. Go. So you can
go. You said? Sorry. Just be careful. Sorry, driver.
Yeah, that's right. Just I've got to remember that everything I say you do.
Correct.
Start. There we go. So tarmac rally stage, but it's got a circuit mode as well. Lap mode. So you go on the track and you get lap times. You say, here's my start point. Go round and round. So it is focused as a track car.
Do you know anything about the warranty?
7 years.
Presumably including track?
Good question. Don't think so. Because your Hyundai, if you take it on the track,
is covered under the track.
Covered under the standard car warranty. What do you think of the steering feel?
No, I think the steering, it's fine. It's got just enough.
Is it connected enough? It's not a Porsche.
The roll and the soft suspension, so when you're coming into a corner it's a bit...
Lateral grip's really good.
I think it's great.
Stayed flat?
Yeah.
Can it still be a hot hatch?
I think it's a bit of a kick in the back there.
That's cool.
I think it's a bit lost in its market that it's looking for. Brakes, maybe that's just a pad change. There's just no feel. And so there's no, like, the initial bite and so forth is not there.
Full 50 k's an hour. Boom, gone. It'll out of a slow corner, it'll gap anything.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
I'm interested to know how well you think the torque vectoring works mid-corner. If you apply a little bit too much power mid-corner, what is it? Shit.
Yeah.
You felt it?
Yes, straight away.
Yeah.
Yep. Turned off that wheel, applied more to the right, left.
Yeah. Yeah. But it did it quite well, didn't it?
It did. That was a good example there, because there was a little bit of gravel mid-corner.
Yeah.
No sound generators?
No.
Yay.
Yeah. It's got a pedestrian sound at very low speed, just
Right.
But no fake sound. Yeah, yes, there it is. Yes, exactly. These little colour-coded bits are particular to this model, just that
Right.
little colour highlight.
Right.
And the same on the side.
I think the side view is great.
I'm not a grey car person, but as grey cars go, it actually works for me. It's taken away all the harshness of the angles.
Yes.
Like-
For even considering this.
How fancy that is.
Yeah.
And this, what about your thing of this? Too much?
I didn't like the fact that the centre brake light broke it up, but actually,
Oh, really?
it sort of works.
MG is owned by Shanghai Automotive Industry Corporation, but designed in London. You wait till you see the Cyberster. You've never heard of that. That's their two-door sports coupe, 500 horsepower.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Two-door.
Coming out, convertible, two-door convertible.
I think the styling is very nice. It's not outlandish like some of them.
Yep. You like it?
I do like it. I do about 180 k's a day.
180, 90 each way.
Yep,
Yeah.
correct.
So you'd need to have it on. You'd need a good fast charger at home,
Yes.
or at work, and you've got one at work. It'd be entirely practical for you. Think of how much fuel you'd save. If you're doing 180 k's a day, you're using $250 worth of fuel a week.
Yes, and throw on that our lovely toll roads.
Oh, can't do anything about that. You still get tolls in this car.
It's actually creeping up on you, this car. We're driving along safely, nice rate of knots. Even some of those bumps mid-corner, it didn't upset it.
No. Okay. Well, why don't you drive me up a hill? We need more answers to this. Is it a hot hatch question?
Let's find out a bit more information.
A very steep uphill. All right, I'm ready. up a 15% grade. That is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. How's that
dear,
turning
dear.
circle? Here we go.
Oh, fantastic.
Torque vectoring. So not only do we have smart differentials, easy boy, yeah,
Yeah, so it's just the tyres do have a squeal.
that is ridiculous. I can't imagine anything, this side of crazy money being anything.
Nothing, not even close.
Yeah.
I love the whistle. As it takes off, it gets this little whistly
Yeah,
whine.
it's quite nice. It gripped there.
It did.
It's got smart differentials and torque vectoring, so it's playing
Yes.
with the horsepower to each wheel individually.
Yep. And you can feel it, and it aids to the driving. You can really feel all its smarts taking control.
You're a very safe driver.
I
I know. I wouldn't sit beside you in a rally car at 200 k's an hour between the trees if I didn't trust you.
Oh, thank you.
Right, so let's have the discussion. Is it or is it not a hot hatch? Well, firstly, definition of terms. What is a hot hatch?
Well, that's a great question. I think your normal RS, your i20, your i30,
Yep.
all those things are all
Yep.
termed hot hatch.
Yep. Is this car as quick as any of those up that hill and on these twisty bends?
Oh, undoubtedly. I think the thing that makes it confusion is the fact that it's so quiet. It doesn't give you that pop and crackle and the loud noise and so forth that hot hatches have, and maybe that's the only difference.
You've also mentioned the brake feel.
The brake feel's not the best, but again, that can be fixed with potentially a brake pad change or something like that.
And the suspension you said is relatively soft.
Soft,
But
but it just showed coming up that hill then that it's also very drivable.
for road courses you need that compliance, and,
Yes.
and often it's better to set up the car a little bit softer.
Absolutely, you don't want it hard. Some of those back roads, this would have been as quick as, if not quicker than the 20 or the 30N, just because it's softer suspension.
Indeed. Okay, so look, I think it is.
Now that we've had this bit of I've had this bit of driving and so forth, because when I first got in it and drove it, obviously it was amazing, the straight line performance and so forth. But now that I've had these kilometres, I think it's every bit a hot hatch without the noise. The way that it hooked up there was tremendous. If I did exactly the same thing in my i20N, it would have torque steered, axle tramped and so forth before it gripped up and went.
Yeah. So there you go, people. This is a friggin' hot hatch. How fun.
It is. How childish of us.
It's 20 grand more than the base model entry one, but it's just too tempting.
Yes.
Too tempting.
I definitely could see myself sitting in one until my licence was not there.
Yeah.
I think that's how it is.
And then you'd be back on the horse.
Great job, MG.
That's the MG4 XPOWER special guest driver, Andrew Bollum.
Thank you, inCARnation.
Beautiful. Love your work. Thank you very much for doing today.
Thank you for inviting me along.
And sorry, Mark. Snooze and you lose.
Mark?
I said sorry, Mark. You know Mark, the guy that regularly does this channel with me?
No.
There's another guy.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, you're not the first.
Oh, okay. Right on. No, that's right. I thought I was, but that's fine.
No.
That was the best acting I've ever seen in my whole life.
Mate,
It was a great experience.
do it again.
Now?
That's it. No, not now. Not now. We've only got 36% battery. I've got to get home somehow. 15.1 kilowatt hours per 100k. That's good. That's since I left Andrew's place about 30 or 40 k's ago. So that's good. And that was undulating hills, so that's very good. Nice. Oh, we're ramping up the big power here. We got max power that can deliver. We got 70 kilowatt hour charging. No need for alarm. So why don't I just sit in my air conditioned comfort with the chill music going. How's our charging going? What's this say? 3 times cheaper than petrol, so I'm not complaining. Thank you, BP. Good job. So you're not just a petrol company. 13 minutes we've been here and our battery's gone from 19% straight back to 41%. And it's nice just to sit and chill and check the analytics for inCARnation Australia and see how the channel's going. Now it may well be that you get more kicks from your old MX5 with a quarter the horsepower of this thing, and good for you. It's likely you'll keep your licence a bit longer. But to answer today's question, the MG4 XPOWER is a hatch and it is undeniably hot. To appeal to the track day brigade, it'll need a few things sorted, but these people love messing around with their brake pads, suspension tuning, bigger wheels, sticky rubber and carbon seats. So yeah, I would enjoy driving one with some Recaros, Bilstein setup and some semi-slicks. It'd be great. But regardless, one thing's for sure, it is already a hot hatch, and don't let any YouTuber tell you otherwise. Look forward to seeing you at the next one. Thanks for watching. Oh hey, you made it right through to the end of the video. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please share it with your motoring friends. And above all, click the little subscribe thing down here so you can see the latest videos when we bring them out, hopefully each week. I look forward to seeing you soon. Rock.